the cloud. Perfect. So welcome again, everybody, to the American Benevolent Society Hangout session. Also, the other housekeeping matter I wanted to take advantage and talk to you is about our membership. As you know, we are a non-for-profit association helping Americans in need here in Mexico. We rely on the income generated by our cemetery, by the Panteón Americano, and on donations and on membership fees. So I would like to invite you, if you are not a member of the ABS, please go to our website, absmex.org, and click on the membership button. And we urge you to please become a member. Your membership fees is a charitable donation that really does help us establish our mission here in Mexico and continue with our mission. So we invite you. We love to have you at our events. Now we unfortunately are doing everything virtual, but we love seeing each other, chatting. We're also, if you need any help, if you're a US citizen living abroad and need any help registering to vote and sending your vote back for this election, also we have a section on our website with all of that information. And if not, we also have an email where you can get in touch with us if you need any help. So with that said, I'll ask everyone to mute their microphones. And Mario, it will introduce our speakers for today. So welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Aliki. I hope you can all hear me. I'm having a few connectivity issues, but I just want to thank everyone for attending today's session. We really appreciate you joining us. Today we have Lydia and Peter from Azteca Travel Tours Art. It's a travel agency. They have they provide services to folks in the Mexico City area, including private tours, walking tours, day and weekend trips. They are certified bilingual guides so that the tours can be explained in both Spanish and English, and they can provide any type of explanation or guidance in both Spanish and English. So without further ado, Peter and Lydia.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. How are you? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Nice to meet you. I'm Peter Winkers. I'm now 11 years living in Mexico City. 9 years married with my beautiful wife Lydia. And yes, together we run Azteca Travel Tours Art. But it's much more than just a travel agency. We also do our own trips. And today we will take you to a small presentation to understand a little bit on the current situation with COVID, obviously the impact on the tourist industry and for tours in general, and our recommendation as well. What can be done, what cannot be done, at least what we recommended on this issue. If Lydia does the introduction as well, I start the presentation.
Hi, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Lidia Herrera. I'm from Mexico City. All my family all the time is living in Mexico City. And this is why I love to go outside of the city maybe, but I know all the places, special places here in Mexico City and all around Mexico City. Welcome everybody, welcome.
Welcome. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
You see the
Perfect.
presentation?
Go.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we will talk about tourism in Mexico City now in the times of COVID, which obviously has a big impact for everybody. We will go to the impact in general, but we also take you to some recommendations of attractions that at least we on our experience think that we can already visit, which is at driving distance from Mexico City. And in Mexico City, there are quite some good options as well that we could visit. Obviously, taking all the precautions in mind that we will show later on. And then in the end, we have some questions and answers. First of all, about us. Like Mario said, we are registered travel agency here in Mexico City. We're very small, just the two of us and our guides. Apart from selling beach packages, circuit tours, we do our own trips every weekend, every Saturday, every Sunday. We normally do small group travels with our travels club, Azteca Explorers. We can also help with private tours, walking tours, day and weekend trips, and circuit tours. And Lidia is a certified bilingual guide. I am, in my normal work, I'm a call center manager at a big company from India here in Mexico City. We have different sites in Mexico City, Aguascalientes, Phoenix, and Hartford. So that's my regular job, but I try to help as much with the travel agencies in coordinating, in making sure that that we have the right people for the right trips. And most of our trips are bilingual in English and Spanish. But if you obviously take a private trip, then it would be just in Spanish or in English, your preference. And I'm not sure if you can see the next slide, the impact of the COVID-19 on the tourism. Here, obviously, it's very important to know if you want to travel, and where to travel to. It's important that we know the colors of the stoplights in the different 32 states in Mexico to understand the current risks and the current restrictions. In the map, we can see that so far only one state is in yellow phase, that's the state of Campeche. 6 states are still in red, so that's absolutely not recommendable for traveling yet. We are talking about Baja California Sur, Nayarit, Zacatecas, Aguascalientes, Colima, and Hidalgo. Obviously, the nearest for us would be Hidalgo, which has beautiful towns, beautiful pueblos mágicos, and has a lot of balnearios. That means natural water parks. But for the moment, we would not recommend to go to Hidalgo yet until it switches to orange. Any questions so far?
Just one quick question. Sorry, Peter. My question is, do you, this information on where do you go, do you also check it with the messages that the U.S. Embassy sends in their mascot messages as to the travel alerts and where to go?
Yes, obviously we take all the travel advice in mind as well. Obviously we take in mind the travel advice on the site. Also the security issues. Obviously, when using transport, we always double check with our providers to make sure that there are no incidents in the place that we would go to. So that's the normal procedures. But especially for the COVID, the restrictions, our source is like below the Secretaría de Salud. Here we can see the stoplights per site, which at least shows us which states is better to stay away from and which states we can travel to, at least taking into account the COVID situation. The security situation, obviously, for example, in the state of Michoacán, or especially the states more to the north, then we would extra double check. If we would go that far, we would double check the embassy as well.
Yes, normally each 2 weeks, the government changed the rules and special places can be open, can be closed. And this is why normally every week or every day, we have to check the information according the government, according the cities, according the towns that we want to visit. Yes, we have to check it every day almost.
Yes, especially and before every tour we do the last double check, and if it's really doesn't look good, either on COVID side or on security side or even the weather forecast, normally on Wednesday before the trips are on Saturday and Sunday, we take the final decision if we can make it happen or if it's better to reprogram an event. Like we can see here, this map is valid from the August 17 to August 13. So every Friday or Saturday in every 2 weeks, this will be updated, and then based on that, we reschedule if necessary our trips. As I said at the introduction, we actually have been in quarantine as much of you as well for over 4 months, and we are actually retaking some trips now during the last 3 weeks. But we prevent to go to crowded areas. We prevent to go to major cities, major towns, and we will take you more to nature. So we give some good options on that later on. The recommendation. Okay. Anyone else had another question? Sorry. No.
No, go ahead, Peter and Lydia.
Okay,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Okay.
Sorry,
well,
I'm going to interrupt 1 second. I would again ask everyone to please have their microphones on mute so that we can, number one, hear the presentation, and also it can be recorded correctly. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Well, our recommendation, taking into account what is saying the travel advice plus all the government bodies in Mexico, which is Gobierno de Mexico and the different states, we really would say avoid traveling to the Mexican states in red stoplights. Also for practical reasons, the restaurants and hotels are most probably still closed, and also the places with touristic value will still be closed. In the Mexican states in orange stoplights, the hotel and restaurants are open at 30 or 40% of the capacity, and also several places are open or gradually opening. For example, some parks, but also some museums in Mexico City, for example, opened this week, and archaeological sites might open gradually from the 7th of September on. So we have a close watch on the archaeological sites that are around and inside Mexico City that will be opening again. And here again, it's important that they will open only at 30 or 40% of their capacity. For the moment, we would say let's wait for taking international and national flights and avoid ground transport that is using their seats at full capacity. I think it's not a good moment to sit in a crowded bus with a lot of people or a crowded airplane. So we would say prevent that. Use your own car, or if you use transport in a group, go with a small group tour that only uses 50% of the seats. For example, we are only using 50% of the seats in our spacious transport, which can either be a Toyota Yache or a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. So we're only using maximum 6 seats out of the 14 seats of a Hiace, and we are only using, only using 9 seats of a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter for 20 people. So then at least you have some social distancing, obviously turning off the air conditioning and opening all the windows. That'll be a good option for that. Or an option is now that we're giving is that the people can drive in convoy. We drive with our car first, then comes the transport van with the people, and then comes 2 or 3 people driving in their own car. That's what we have been doing. That's what we've been doing in the last 2 to 3 weeks on our trips, and everybody felt safe, and that's a good option. The last one is we would say explore principally green areas and small villages far away from the crowds, and explore just by yourself or in small groups. Here is Alfina. We better wait for the questions at the end for also time perspective, I think. This is the safe travel protocol. This is based on the recommendation of the World Travel and Tourism Council. There's 10 steps. You can read the presentation to whomever wants to receive it. The most important here is that we see in the pictures: social distancing and use of face masks during the entire trip. Before boarding one of our transports, we will take the temperature. The hands will be infected with 70% alcoholic gel, and also the bottom of your shoes will be disinfected before boarding. That's the best way we can prevent any issues. And again, we will only use, for example, this is a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, only use half of the seats. So that makes sure that the people are not all together in the transport. Now, some attractions that we think it's interesting that we and safe that is within driving distance from Mexico City. We have the Centro Cultural Otomí. Lidia, can you explain a little bit?
Yes, the Centro Cultural Otomí is a monumental place that the monument that you can see now in the picture is not a pre-Hispanic building. It's a modern building made for the government of Mexico to represent the Otomi culture, because the culture of the Otomis, they didn't make a pyramid, they didn't make a pre-Hispanic building, and this is why the government have decided to build this beautiful monument for this culture. And this special monument is inside of a beautiful park from 2 hours of Mexico City, and you can visit around the forest and you can enjoy to this place.
Yes, it's really recommendable. It's in the state of Mexico, which is now in color orange, and it's a 2.5-hour drive more or less from Mexico City. So this is beautiful. You just arrive, you don't have to climb up. You're not at higher altitudes. So directly, well, it's a bit higher at 2,500 meters, I think. But it's very beautiful, very relaxed place to see all the different monuments. The monuments in the honor of the sun that we can see here all the way in the back in the circle. And every monument have a specific signification that we obviously explain during the trip. So this is a very good option. Nearby, there's a national park that we might visit, or on the way back, we could also pass for the Desierto de los Leones, which is one of the 5 national parks of Mexico City itself. Another great option is Alcuco town and its nearby waterfalls. This is in the state of Puebla, no, still in the state of Mexico.
State of Mexico, yes. This is a beautiful town, really traditional of the Cultura Otomí, and it's really specialist of the cheese. It's a local cheese, and you can try different styles of cheese, and it's really quite and special town. And near of this town, you can visit a national park that they have waterfalls. And it's beautiful. This is the view of the waterfalls. And it's a really, really beautiful place to visit. Normally in these tours, actually we can take around 9 or 10 hours. No, a really long day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and again, normally we've been there quite a lot of times. It's like the town is always in quarantine. You never see a lot of people around, so it's a very quiet town. And again, the nearby waterfalls are amazing. You can just walk the part above that we can see here, or if you want some action, you can lower with us to the bottom, and you can take amazing pictures of the waterfall that we can see here. So that's very recommendable as well. Another option is Las Aztecas, which is a national water park in the state of Morelos, also about 2 to 2.5 hour drive near the town of Cuernavaca. It's still like 40 minutes from there. It's a very relaxed place. In this case, I will open for the people that we want to receive the presentation. Everywhere you can click on the link, and then you can have a virtual trip, which is either Facebook pictures or a blog. In this case, let's see if this works. Let's go to Las Aztecas. And if you really want to be out in nature, far away from people, being in the palm trees, and swim in a clear, beautiful river, this is an amazing place to relax for a day, or you can also stay overnight, either camping or glamping. It's luxury tents that they have with all a real bed inside and a luxury form of camping. But they also have beautiful cabins and a beautiful hotel. I'm not sure if you can see now the block that opened. Here I will scroll a little bit. This is our block on Las Aztecas. And here you can see the beautiful river. You can take a boat trip that is included in the entrance. There are some swimming pools as well. Obviously now with extra chloro, so that helps us. If you don't want to swim yet in the swimming pools, the river is it's a natural river and it has a constant current, so it's constantly cleaning itself. So this is another beautiful option. Again, at only 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours from Mexico City. Let's close this. El Oro town and dam. It's one of the El Oro is one of the 121 pueblos mágicos that we currently have in Mexico. And again, the same like Aculco, El Oro, and Villa de Carbon. It's all relaxed little villages where you can just walk around within being in multitudes. And at the dams, you can walk around the lake, just sit down in a beautiful place and have your picnic. For the moment, for our trips, we recommend to not use yet the restaurants. We are obviously normally, we would like to enjoy the local food. We explain what are the local dishes. For the moment, we recommend not to go to the restaurant yet. And ideally, we bring our own picnic that we can enjoy at one of the shores.
Okay, the next town is Villa del Carbon, and near of that town have a beautiful dam. It's not a natural lake, but was made for the government, and looks really beautiful, this picture, because the shore is down of the lake, is down of the dam. And Villa del Carbon is one of the most famous towns near of Mexico City, and we can travel still there in 2 hours approximately. It's a small town. It's famous because the furniture and suites and textiles of them. But in general, we can visit 2 places: the dam and the town.
Yes, it's an amazing place, and here it was beautiful to take a boat trip or just to look from the shore. You can see this big church tower, which is now underwater, and there's an entire church more to the left, depending on the water level. Now in high season, we probably just see the towers like this, but in dry season, you can actually see the entire buildings below the water. So that's interesting to see. And one of our favorite archaeological sites, which is, I think, the only 2 of the 194 archaeological sites open to public. It's Baños de Nezahualcóyotl, which is near the town of Texcoco in the state of Mexico.
Yes, from Mexico City is really interesting because we can visit in tours of 1 day around 50 different archaeology sites outside of Mexico City, but in 1 day you can visit that beautiful places. And this archaeology site of Baños of the Nezahualcóyotl is from Mexico City 2 hours approx. And this is one of our favorite archaeology sites near of Mexico City. It's in Texcoco.
Yeah, normally you need like 2.5 hours to behind the mountain that we see. We start from the bottom. There's first a strong walk up, so that's a bit of a heavy part. Let's say first 30 minutes going up, but then you can walk all around here, and then you can follow the aqueduct that we see and different beautiful parts of the buildings, temples that we can see here. And for the people who want some more actions, we can bring you all the way to the top where there's a small pyramid. This site has improved a lot. When we came first there 8 years ago, it was all graffiti, it was all garbage. We didn't feel too safe being there. But especially 2 years ago, they had a good cleaning actions. All of the signs have been replaced by readable signs. The graffiti has been taken care of. So this is one of the 2 archaeological sites in Mexico that is already open. The other 192 are still closed And like Lydia said, 50 around Mexico City, the majority is still closed, but will open gradually from the 7th of September on. This is all the options that we have that we can see from driving distance from Mexico City. We will now show you some beautiful things we can do in Mexico City that most people might not be aware of. One important thing about Mexico City is people think it's all urbanized, it's a giant city, a lot of people, a lot of crowded areas. So let's stay away from that. No, that's our first reaction. But a lot of people don't know that Mexico City, in fact, is only for 49% urbanized, and it's still 51% green areas. We actually have five national parks, which is Ajusco, Desierto de los Leones, Sierra de Guadalupe, help me out on the other two, Cerro de la Estrella.
Desierto de los Leones, Ajusco Park, principally are the principal national parks that we have in Mexico City. But in the green area that we have in Mexico City, the 51% is green. We have agriculture areas, reserves, we have volcanoes, we have lakes, and we have the national parks, all in Mexico City. We can visit around between 200, 300 mountains near around of the Bay of Mexico City. It's really interesting, and this is a good example. We have here two volcanoes that are inside in Mexico City.
Okay, let's have a small quiz for the people who are living more time in Mexico City or want to know about more about it. What do you think is the highest point in Mexico City? How many
altitude?
What is the highest altitude in Mexico City? Who goes first? What is the highest altitude in Mexico City?
Go ahead, Elena, but you need to unmute.
Okay, unmute me. Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
According to me, I live right next to the Desierto de los Leones, where you go out west toward Toluca, which is the highest city in all of Mexico. But according to me, I'm way above Mexico City, which is down below 3,500 feet. Then you come up more, and Toluca is at 7,500 feet. And this mountain, as we go over on the highway, is 8,100. So I maybe think it's the highest point, unless you're talking about volcanoes.
Okay, you're quite close. Normally in Mexico City, the average altitude, we are talking about 2,200 meters, which is like 6,600 feet. But the highest point we can actually see here in the picture, in the Chitle volcano. We can see the volcano behind here. This is the Ajusco volcano, and the highest point is the Punto de Marqués, or the Cross of Marqués, which is at 3,390 meters high, which is almost 16,000 feet high. So that's an interesting trivia question for your friends. What is the highest point in Mexico? We are talking about 3,910 meters high. No, sorry, 3,930 meters high, about 16,000 feet. Another interesting question is, what would be the highest waterfall in Mexico City? How many meters high do you think it would be?
What was the question again?
So the highest waterfall in Mexico City.
I'm not sure.
The highest or the tallest?
The highest in Mexico City. Yes. The highest waterfall in Mexico City, you can find it from the Parque San Nicolás Totobalapan. If we walk there for about 1 hour, we will come across the waterfall of Totolapan, which is a 20-meter high waterfall. So that's the highest waterfall actually inside Mexico City still. So that's
that is which one? I'm sorry.
This one you can see not sure if you can see the screen. The top picture, San Nicolás Totolapan. It's a beautiful park. You pay your entrance, which is like 45 pesos. and then from there on, it's a bit of a search, but you can find a beautiful waterfall, which is the Cascada de Totolapa, which is a 20-meter waterfall inside Mexico City. Also nearby there, you can have beautiful lava tunnels. It's very wide tunnels, like 15 meters broad. So it's not, you're not feeling inside. You're walking inside these giant lava tubes, which is a beautiful experience as well. So I think these are different experiences that that most people would not be aware of, maybe in Mexico City. A lot of people obviously did hear of Chapultepec Park. Chapultepec Park is actually 2 times the size of Central Park in New York. So it's a giant park. Most people know more the part around the 2 lakes where people can take a boat, paddle boats on the lake, and that's about it. But if you walk a bit further in the first section, you will find actually an archaeological site inside Chapultepec Park, which is very interesting. And also, if we would take you to the second section, let's see if this opens to see some more pictures. We have some 3 different beautiful sites in honor of, first of all, the Olmec culture, and then to the Azteca and the Mexica culture. So it's much more than just a walk in the park. We are now organizing the park, the pre-Hispanic walk in Chapultepec, and we will take you to the archaeological site inside Chapultepec Park, and we will explain you about the different monuments in honor of the Olmec and Aztec and Mexica culture. The picture slowly, the slide is slowly opening. Hold on.
Sorry, we don't see it, Peter, because you're sharing the presentation only. So the screen that you're sharing is the PowerPoint, so we don't see it.
Okay, now you can see pictures or not yet?
No. You have to share that screen.
Okay.
That's why. So we can't see it.
Okay.
But we can send this presentation to folks afterwards, and then they can go in.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
Gwen, I need you to please
option.
mute.
Yes, we will do that. The presentation, every place we have seen so far, you click and then you can either see a blog of us, or in this case, a Facebook album. I'm not sure if you can see now.
Now we can see it, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you about helping. We are now in Chapultepec Park, about the section that most people, well, a lot of people don't know yet. Here we have a beautiful serpent, which is all around. There are 4 giant circles, which is a water basin in Mexico City. Like in the 60s, 80% of all the water actually came here from Chapultepec Park. And recently, they all renovated those beautiful places and made up this beautiful monuments. Here we can see in the second section near the Museo de Papalote, which you maybe have went with your children to see one of the attractions. They have a cinema inside, they have an IMAX cinema inside. But nearby there, we can see 10 different Olmec hats. Here is, inside is a beautiful museum of Diego Rivera, which is the Fuente de Tlaloc, which is in front of it. So this is another beautiful place. And I'm just scrolling down so you can have a look of all the things that we can still explore in Chapultepec Park. Obviously, you can just go there and walk by yourself in the first and second sections of Chapultepec Park. Third section is more for running or walking, but I think it's a very interesting place as well to go with a certified guide who explains a bit of the different cultures that we see and explains a little bit of the different monuments that we see. Let's go back to the presentation. Can we see the PowerPoint again?
It is not there yet. It says that it's coming up. There we go. You're set.
Okay, perfect. So it's beautiful. Obviously, I think most of us living in Mexico City might have gone to Chapultepec Park, but even me living 11 years here, I only found out this amazing monuments about 3 years ago. So I think there's still a lot of to discover. Another interesting park in Mexico City, which is very centric. You can actually go there every part of the town where you live. You'll be there in 20 minutes. Parque Hundido. Where's the location, more or less?
The location is in the south of Mexico City, is in the corner of Insurgentes and Colonia del Valle, in the end of the Colonia del Valle. Yes, this is a nice town. This neighborhood, sorry, is a beautiful part. You can make walls, and inside of the walls, you can look different sculptures on different pre-Hispanic cultures of Mexico.
Yeah, here actually we're starting now with a walk. Again, here it's beautiful, just arrive and just walk around, and that is some signs indicating what culture you're seeing. But from us, if you go there, we explain, first of all the different cultures actually that we have in general on all of Mexico. And then we do, let's say, the Olmec walking path first, which is the oldest culture. And then we go to the Tihuacan culture, the Mayan culture, the Aztec culture, the Toltec culture. So we explain a bit of the different cultures, and we show you the different monuments. Most of these are replicas, so it's not the real monuments, but I think there are three or four very interesting original pieces that we can still find in this park. But even this Olmec hat, for example, which is a replica, is very beautiful too. Sorry, to see it and to learn more about it. So that's another recommendation. I think San Nicolas Tatopalat, we already mentioned. Two beautiful volcano trips if you want some more action. Chapultepec Park, Parque Hundido, San Nicolas Totolapan. It's very easy. It's just arriving there with your car, and you can start walking. It's not a heavy walk, so you can enjoy this. Toitli volcano and Chile volcanoes, two amazing, totally different volcanoes in the southern part of the Ajusco Mountains, which are very worthwhile. Here, the Chile volcano, we actually arrive at 3,000 meter high with the car, so we only have to walk up 300 meters. So it seems little, but obviously we take it easy and on a 4-hour walking trip. If you just have a general okay condition, we have been able, even people with 50, 60 years old or older, well, I'm 51 right now, so no problem of walking up there. And it's beautiful views all around to the Ajusco Mountain in the back, and all of Mexico City that we can see here in front of the volcano. The Toitli volcano is a bit farther away. It's near the town of San Pedro Topan, which is the town that produces 80% of the mole sauce for all of Mexico City. Normally we go to the town there as well to try the mole in the restaurants. In this case, again, I think it's not a good time yet to go to the restaurants, but we can take you to this beautiful volcano, which is another beautiful 4-hour walking tour. Especially now, September, October, it's the time of the amaranto.
Amaranto flower. Yes, you can see the red flowers in the green area in the left. This is the floor of the amaranto. The flowers have an altitude of 2 meters approx, but are really beautiful, especially in the end of September and October. Normally we make this walking in this area, and we can enjoy the view and the green areas, and especially the flower of the amaranth and the olivo trees. This area that was born the amaranto and the oliva trees in Mexico.
And the amaranto you might know from the little bars that they sell with the little dots. That's the amaranto bar. So that's normally we give some people to try as well. Normally we would have gone into the town as well to see how it's made. But this kind of activities we still want to prevent. The idea is just to arrive at one place with your own car or with our transport using at 50%. And from there on, being right out in nature, far away from the people. That's the idea. The only thing missing is Cerro de Estrella.
Alguien ha ido. Somebody has been in the Cerro de la Estrella. It's an archaeology site in Mexico City. No? Nobody has been there? Yes? Ah, perfect.
Okay, good. Elena has been there.
Yes, this place is an archaeology site of three different cultures. First arrived in this place the Teotihuacan culture, the second was the Tolteca culture, and in the end was the Mexica culture. The Aztec culture was the last culture that arrived to build some special buildings here in Cerro de la Estrella. When you arrive to the top of this archaeology site, is in the top of an old volcano, and you can enjoy the view of all Mexico City in special days when all is clear. You can enjoy all the view. It's one of the most beautiful views of the city from this place, and actually it's open if you can visit during the week because it's less people, or in the end on the weekends. You can visit this place. Actually, it's open from the 10 a.m. to the 7 p.m. And we can prepare if you want a walking tour. If not, you can arrive and visit this place and take your time. But this is one of the most secrets of Mexico City because it's a nice and a small archaeology site in Mexico City. You have to go one day.
It's beautiful, and if people ask me where do I have to go to have the best views all over Mexico City, people would say Torre Latina American Tower, which is at near the Bellas Artes building, or people would say the Torre Mayor, the Piso 54, the bar which is there. Yes, you have amazing views, but you can only see one part. From this place, you have 360 views all around, all over Mexico City, but also in the backsides towards the mountains, towards Puebla, the state of Mexico. You can see on a very clear day, you can see the Iztaccíhuatl and the Popocatépetl volcano. You can see actually all the channels of Xochimilco. On a very clear day, you can even see the Lago de Chalco.
Yes, from here, you can enjoy the four parts of Mexico City, the north, the south, the east, the west. And from here, you can see the three lakes that we have in Mexico City, the lake of Xochimilco, the lake of Chalco, the lake of Texcoco. From here, you can enjoy all the view of Mexico City. Really nice place.
And also the Central de Abastos. I'm not sure if you have been there already.
Have you been in Central de Abastos market?
Yes. Okay.
Ah, perfect.
Elena is the most adventurous one.
Yes.
Very good. And Gwen as well. Okay, good. Now the Central Abastos is very nice. It's actually one of the largest markets in the world. Now they have interesting project as well with murals. So on all the walls of the Central Abastos, they put in the murals. So that's a normal, beautiful trip we do as well. But for the moment, we would recommend to stay away from the markets and the crowded people, or go very early. No, that's another option. But from the Cerro de Estrella, you can also see how enormous is the Centro de Abasto. Go to the last slide. Sorry. Okay. That was the questions and answers. Well, sorry, that was our presentation. Now it's time for the questions and answers. Not sure if you have any questions, any recommendations. Somebody,
yes,
you can put away the mutes. Yeah, ready for you to listen to you, Gwen.
Oh, thank you so much. I cannot even tell you, Lydia and Peter, how excited I am. Thank you, Aliki, Barbara, all of you all.
Okay.
You are exactly who I've been looking for all my life.
Okay.
Well, okay, at least for the last few years.
Okay.
As a few of you all know, I have been working with the Alumni Association of the University of Texas for several years now.
Okay.
I have the enormous blessing right now of being the interim president. I was the previous president a couple of years ago. I'm the head of Project Worldwide now, which is our community service project. My main point here is so exciting to share with you. With this position, these positions that I've held with the University of Texas alumni for the last several years, one of the blessings that I've had is, of course, to travel to the University of Texas in Austin. And we sort of have these training sessions. Obviously, working with the Alumni Association is very important for the.
Gwen,
Yes.
may I?
Yes.
I apologize. May I interrupt for 1 second? And before we continue, can we continue with questions on this presentation for Lydia and Peter, and then we can go to the University of Texas project. Maybe we can present
well,
that.
The thing is, that's what
Okay.
that's what it has to do with is.
Okay, sorry.
that,
Apologies.
that the one thing that happened when I was traveling there is that they have a travel agency at the University of Texas Alumni Center in Austin. And guess what? They don't have travels to Mexico because of security. Now, the amazing thing is that, again, thanks to Barbara Franco, I have met Mario Gonzalez Roman, who is with security, and now I've met you all. So I urgently need to get your information. Thank you. This is so exciting. And this is the missing link, right, my dear Robert Sonnenberger?
Okay, thank you.
Good to hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. But let's get back to Mexico.
Sorry, Roberto.
No, I said let's get back to Mexico.
Thank you, Robert. So do we have any more questions? Yes, go ahead, Raymond. Raymond, do you have a question for Peter? I can't hear you, Raymond. You're connecting to the audio. Meanwhile, while Raymond connects, no, we can't hear you, Raymond. Any other questions? Yes, go ahead, Elena, but you need to unmute.
Muted.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you. I didn't unmute because I don't know how. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So good old Mario helped me. Thank you, Mario. You're a sweetheart. I just wanted to say quickly that I want to congratulate you on this presentation, both Linda and Peter. It's very good. I have to confess that most of my adult life I worked in tourism, not travel agents. I'll make it quick and succinct. I worked for the Consejo Nacional de Turismo with the Express of Mexico for 10 years.
Wow.
And later with another company, I was country manager for you might say, the image of our beloved Mexico in our natural market, which is Canada and the United States, and crises worldwide for the media. But yes, my specialty is Mexico and tourism. And if anybody were our friends and helpers and wonderful supporters, were tour operators, travel agents, the travel writers, I didn't work in that area, I worked with them. So I just want to say thank you. It's been wonderful to hear you. You are exactly the kind of people we need. I mean, I myself, I've been around, but I would join one of your tours happily. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of us for the ABS for offering us this opportunity. Maybe we could make an ABS tour at some time. Thank you.
I was just thinking while Lydia and Peter were presenting and talking about the fantastic view at the Cerro de la Estrella, I was just thinking, when all this is over, that will be our first field trip. We'll take one of your buses and we'll get there. But tell us a little bit, Peter and Lydia, so what would be you've told us, go in small groups, always covered, but of all of these places that you mentioned, are all of them open? And also the towns, how do they feel when outsiders are coming in, and how do they feel with seeing other people there?
Okay, in general, well, you might have noticed when living in Mexico now, 11 years, in general, the Mexicans are very welcoming people. What we want to prevent is going to very small villages where there's a high contamination. For example, Tepoztlan, which is, we love Tepoztlan. We love to walk up to the Teposteco, the pyramid above the town. But there, it's very obviously the people decided to block down the town and to protect their communities. We have a very interesting tour normally as well in Xochimilco, well, near Xochimilco. Obviously, you heard of Xochimilco, the beautiful trajineras or the beautiful boats we can take down on the channels. We have a very beautiful contact in Tláhuac, which is nearby, where we do the same, but in the original traditional working canoes, and we take you to the channels. But there, we always have the local guides as well. We prevent just us explaining stuff. We work as much as possible with local guides, and the local guides were very honest with us. They said, sorry, Pete, we don't feel comfortable yet. Would prefer to at least to be in yellow stage or at least in green before opening our services. So we always talk with our local guides and local contacts to see if it's a good moment to visit or not. Because what we want to prevent is that we coming in a town of 10 people and everybody, well, starts running or starts yelling at you, obviously. Luckily, Mexicans are not like that. No, Mexicans normally is one of the friendliest people I know. But yes, you always have to take into account that it's not only your risk at stake, but also you're putting at risk the people of the places that you visit.
Yes, actually we are in contact with the local people and we are respecting the decision and how they feel actually with the COVID. And we try not to visit the touristic places. We try not to visit the markets, the church, because we know that the local people could be a little risk. And this is why actually we are walking, we are visiting national parks, open greens, Chinampa sometimes, and made beautiful walks in the natura, in the volcanoes, in the lakes, in the agriculture areas. And actually we are doing that, only visiting more open areas and not really the touristic places. But in Mexico City around, imagine, we can visit more than 2,000 mountains. Imagine, we never are going to visit all. Yes, actually we are visiting 4 mountains, 4 national parks, 3 lakes, and we can do more natural and open areas. But slowly,
I have a question.
The next month, we can visit more popular places, maybe markets, maybe archaeology sites. But actually, we are protect more the local people, and obviously our customers, they don't want to visit crowded places. This is why we are now walking more in the natural places.
Wonderful. I have a quick question. Is it on?
Yes, go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, where do you like meet or get together when you go off? Is it like the parking lot of the museum, or I don't know? I just made that up.
Okay.
When people are going to go, where do you start from? Like 9 o'clock?
Okay, yes. Normally, if we provide our transport, we starting either from Metro Chapultepec, which is in the Colonia.
Right there, yeah.
Or we start from Metro Ethiopia, which is in Colonia.
In Narvarte. Narvarte.
Narvarte.
The Pense group and the Pense people, we can pick up in specific places. Or for example, if we are going to make a walking tour, we establish a point, a midpoint near of the place, and see you there, and you can arrive with your car, you can arrive with Uber, you can arrive in taxi, and we specify a meeting point.
Yeah, for
Very
example,
good, thank you.
Walk, the people can park near the Museo de Papalote, and or a meeting place would be in front of the Museum de Papalote, and from there we make the walk, for example.
Thank you.
Again, further, if people would like to use their own car, for example, for the Tuitli volcano, tomorrow we go to the Saturday?
Yes,
yeah, tomorrow Saturday. Sorry. We go to the Tuitli volcano. Then one group with our transport would start from Metro Ethiopia, and the other one group will meet in front of a bakery in the little town which is near the volcano. So, and then we make the convoy. We go drive first, then comes the van with the people who don't have their own transport, and then we have 2 or 3 cars that
Of the
prefer
families.
to drive by ourselves, and then we drive as close together to the volcano to start the walk. So that's we have to be a bit more inventive than normal to make sure that the people really feel safe and can use the transport that they prefer. If they have their own car, obviously your own car. If you don't have your own car, you can still arrive by Uber or by taxi. Or if you don't prefer that, we provide the transport, but obviously only using 50% of the seats.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions?
Just,
No?
you're gonna post
Yes.
your information, contact information right now?
Yes, we can, Mario, we can post it later on Facebook, correct?
Yes, we'll post it on Facebook along with the video, and we'll make sure to include their both Peter and Lydia's contact information.
Okay. And also, do you wanna, if Peter and Lydia, you can put in the chat here so folks can get your contact information as well. That would be fantastic.
Okay, hold on. The easiest is go to our website, I think.
Okay. Elena, meanwhile, you had another question?
Just one. It's really quick, and I really want to thank you both for the presentation and ask you if you could divide us into, when you talk about the tours or whatever, if you can more or less work out a special segment for those that do not walk so well, maybe walking limitations. You're a very young, 51-year-old? I'm
51 and
47.
25 years. Oh no.
You're just kids, young. But think of us who might have walking limitations and those that don't. So if you could make special tours that are easy to walk to, or even if we can have assistance of wheelchairs, I don't know, but not too heavy a walk for someone who might have walking limitations, and it would be fantastic. Those are specialty tours. So
perfect. I'll mention in the, well, you can now see our website. If you go to our website, you directly can click on, there's a WhatsApp symbol there. If you give us your email, we can send the presentation that we saw today. And in that presentation, in our WhatsApp, we also will indicate what are the particular tours that that everybody can join, even in wheelchair. For example, Parque Unido, Parque Chapultepec, even the Totolapan version would be possible, the first part. So yes, we can indicate there. And again, we can also make it a private trip, and then we can adapt 100% to your needs. So here we have
Thank you.
website.
So you have the phone number and the website here on the chat. And in any case, we will post this later along with the video. Any other questions for Peter and Lydia? Well, thank you so much, Peter and Lydia. This has been great. It's you know, nice. Eventually, we're going to have to get back to life as normal, and this is fantastic to know our city and to see all the things that can be done, you know, driving distance. So it's fantastic. I congratulate you both. And on behalf of the ABS, I thank you for your time. And I'd like to announce, and Doug will give you more information next week. We are not next week, sorry, in 2 weeks for our next Hangout session. We are so excited that we will have Ruth Alegria, who is a member of the ABS, and Paco de Santiago. And they will be teaching us or talking to us about chiles en nogada, Doug. I am very excited. I wish they could virtually send me a chile en nogada. It's probably my favorite dish. Yes. Ruth has one of the top 5 cooking schools in Mexico, per Saber magazine. And Paco is a former bullfighter, chess champion, and he is Rick Bayless, famous chef Rick Bayless, manager in Mexico. So we are so incredibly excited. Mark your calendars, tell your friends, please join us. Doug, what did I miss out? You're muted, Doug. There
You
he is.
covered it. Yeah, you can hear me now. You covered it very well, but I also wanted to say that I personally have taken several tours with Peter and Lydia and their friends, and they do wonderful job. Everything, every detail is taken care of from start to finish. So any concerns about, mobility or anything else, they are right on top of it. So I highly recommend them. Nice to see you guys.
This has been fantastic. Go ahead, Gwen.
Thank you. Just a reminder, I will be sending you all the information. It will be very exciting. A few of you all may have heard him here in a recent ABS reunion, but we have Ted Estrada, who is the writer of Mexica Gold. It's going to be very exciting this coming Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Thank you, Gwen. And anything else? Anyone else have anything to add regarding to the ABS? Anything, any questions, anything we can help out folks with? Remember, Doug and Mario and Karen Gould, who is not on the call right now, are our resident experts when it comes to voter registration and ballot requests and returning your ballots. The first, just so everyone knows, the first set of elections material were delivered to the embassy on Tuesday to be sent by the diplomatic pouch to the States and mailed on the other side of the border. So we're very excited. Please, again, if you're not a member, we ask you for your help supporting the ABS. Go to our absmex.org page and become a member. Tell your friends. And we are so incredibly excited to see you in 2 weeks for Chiles en Nogada. Doug, can I have like the test chile en nogada that they prepare? Can I request it? I can send them my address and request it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been in Ruth's kitchen where we made chiles en nogada from scratch. We even started at the Xochimilco market to buy the ingredients. And boy, was that tasty.
If you have a 3D printer, he can send them to you by email.
And that one won't be as fattening for sure. Robert, I think you had something.
Yeah,
That was great.
One last thing for anybody that's registered to vote in Texas. Early voting in Texas will start on the 13th of October, all the way through the 31st. So just to know that if you happen to be registered in Texas.
I will say
Thank
one
you,
thing.
Roberto.
3 weeks from tomorrow, September the 19th, you should start looking for your ballot if you have requested one by email if you live in Mexico. That's when the ballots are supposed to be ready in all 50 states under federal law.
When was that again?
September 19th, a Saturday, 3 weeks from tomorrow. And if you don't receive them within the next few days after that, then I would start calling my local or county election office and ask, where is it?
Earthquake Day.
Earthquake Day. It is. I forgot.
Hopefully we won't have an earthquake
Better,
this September 19th.
Better luck. Yeah.
This is also Grandparents' Day. So
today, congratulations.
Congratulations to everybody's in that category.
Congratulations. Yes, today also the HAP, the Junta de Asistencia Privada, celebrated the Día del Adulto Mayor.
Yeah.
So I don't see any adultos mayores in this screen, but to those, we congratulate them. And happy Grandparents' Day to those of you who are grandparents.
Thank you.
Adios. Bye.
Aliki, thanks a million. Love you
Thank
all.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Good, Peter.
Thank you. Peter and Lydia,
Peter,
thanks a million again. Thank you so very much.
Much love.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you
was a
all so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a
It was
million,
pleasure.
Aliki.